Hey Ravens, this video is just going to give you an introduction to our composition project. So for the composition project, we're all going to be composing our own song. Composing means making up your own song, of course, of 8 measures or more. And this is just a list of the requirements for the song. It needs to have a title and a composer. Of course, you are the composer, and you can make whatever title you want for it. Please don't call your song Song. Try to think of something a little more interesting than that. You need a clef, a time signature, and a key signature. And your song should be 8 measures or more. You need to have a variety of notes and rhythms. And what I mean by that is just, we can't have a whole song of only D's in quarter notes. Okay, so different rhythms, different notes. It needs to be neat and legible when you are done with your final draft. You can handwrite it, or I will give you some options for online music software if you want to write it up on the computer. You need to be able to play your composition, so please don't compose something that is way too hard. And groups are okay if you'd like to work with another person or two on this, but I do need everyone to have their own part. So if you're composing in a group, we can't have everybody in the group playing the exact same thing. So you're going to have to think of some ways where you can have different parts happening at the same time. So for this project, you are not graded on whether I like your song or not, okay? You're not graded on whether, you know, it's a beautiful song, anything like that. It just, if you have these criteria, okay, and it does need to be an original song. So please do not let your song sound exactly the same as a song that already exists. Okay, and then this is the final slide, and I just want to give you kind of some ideas for how to start your composition. It's not required that you follow this this pattern, but this is kind of just what I do. So I usually just start by drawing in on my staff paper the clef and the time signature and the key signature. So I'm going to just go ahead and do treble clef, and I'm going to use D major because that is the easiest for me, and I don't want to make this project any harder than it needs to be. So I'm going to do 2 sharps here for D major. I'm going to do F sharp and C sharp. And then I'm going to do a key signature of 4/4 time again, just because that is kind of my happy key signature. Okay. And then I'm going to wait and decide on a title for my song later, but when you do have your title, you're going to write it up here at the top. And then over here on the side is where you put your own name for the composer. And again, you don't have to do that now, but the next thing that I like to do is just draw in measures. That just kind of helps me organize my thoughts. You don't have to do it this way, but it's just what I like to, okay? And then maybe for the second line, I'm gonna do 3 measures here. And now you are technically supposed to have the treble clef and the key signature on each line of the song. I'm just not gonna do that right now because it takes a little bit too long, okay? It is recommended, although not required, that the first note and the last note of your song are the same. That kind of just makes your song sound a little bit more final. Again, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. And it also sounds nice if you start and end on the note that is the first note of the scale of the key that you are composing in. So since I'm composing in D major, I'm going to start my song on the note D. So I'm just going to draw a D in here so I remember. And then I'm going to go grab my instrument and I'm just going to start playing. I'm going to start off with the D major scale, but I'm going to try to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to maybe add in some 8th notes, skip around just a little bit. And if I hear anything that I really like, I'm going to come over here to my staff paper and write it down so I don't forget. Okay? So I'm going to end this video here, and I will make another video for you with some ideas for getting started on your composition as well. So I hope that was helpful.